Okay, welcome everyone to the first video in my tutorial series. It should be something like SRPG Studio, is it only for making Fire Emblem games? And the answer is no. You can make many different types of games. In this engine, you just have to mold a little bit to the way they do things. Uh, this tutorial series, I'm going to be trying to make something along the lines of Advance Wars and Warcraft kind of mixed together. We will see how well that goes, but hopefully you can follow along and see what happens. This first video is not going to be that though. I want to show you how you can do different things in this engine that aren't necessarily just Fire Emblem type things. Some of them will be, some of them won't be, but you can expand your range and repertoire to make different type of games. So this is what happens, what it shows when you open a new project in SRPG Studio. You have your basically where your map is, which is this green area right here full of grass. We can at the top you can see file resources tools, all these things. Some of them are more necessary than others. Open map, very important. Database, very important. Animations, very important. Recollection events, I don't know what those do. Story settings, base settings, used a little bit, but aren't the focus. So first thing we can do is open a map. You have your map tiles here. You can just click and then add them. Very simple. Nothing too complicated here. Create a stream. Blah blah blah. But that's not what we're doing. I want to show you what my first game was. Let me see if I can find where that is. Is it on my passport SRPG? We will go in all the way back, So this was the first maps I've ever made. I was recreating the first map from my first SRPG, which was Shining Force, the Sword of Haya, on the Game Gear. I was 7 years old. And found their placement for trees, found their placement for units, and just wanted to recreate it and see if I could do it. So I'm going to open the map. In database, this is where you create your player characters. So I created 6 player characters. We have a swordsman, a mage, axe guy, a monk, a knight, and an archer. Sorry, I'm doing this at 720p, so things are a little bit tighter for me to properly record this. So you got your map, your enemy units. I'm going to go to the second level. Open this. This is inside a church. Enemies are attacking the church, so they're coming in from these 3 doors. And they're trying to get to the high priest right here. And your units spawn where these flags are, so you have 6 units. And we can kind of play this map a little bit so you can see what SRPG Studio is like. So this is the main menu. I'm going to continue and play the shrine level. I'm just going to hit next and start the battle. So you get to see the battlefield. We'll fight. So you can see these green units are your allies. You do not control them. The blue units are what you control, and then the red are the enemies. So, at this point, I guess she can't really move that far, but she has a couple of spells. Ooh, did that hit anyone? Oh, no, it didn't even show the damage. As I said, this is a very early build. One of the unique things about this battle is that enemies will spawn from the doors. You'll be able to see that either after the first turn or the second turn. I will speed this battle up. I'll end one more turn, and then you'll be able to see that you can have enemy reinforcements spawn, which is a very Fire Emblem thing to do. But those were my first maps, and you can see what I was able to do with them. Now this map made it into my game. I've been working on it for about a year and a half, so we will close out of that, and then I'll open my real game, which is not this one. I'll close out of that. We won't save that. I need to go to desktop and open Arc Brigade. So that first map turned into something that looks like this. I'll hit map test. This is what that first map turned into. You can see there's goblins and such around here. If I hit fight, I got a little tutorial welcoming you to the game. I have cutscenes before this, but this is the tutorial for actually being able to fight. So you can move your units around. Like for example, your characters have abilities with their own animations. So she's using Icicle, and this is your ability menu. You can cast it, you can cancel it, or you can get an explanation, such as I bombard a unit with sharp icicles, dealing 175% power, and I have 3 more uses. So we will use it, the animation happens, and they take damage. You can find items on the map, so we're going to check the wall. There's something here, and you get the item. So nothing too complicated in this level, it's just showing how it works. And enemies go, and that's about it. In the second level, this is basically that level I was showing you. I will open it up with the real characters. It is Shrine Defense. This is just letting you know you can talk to people. Trying to cover the doors, enemies are spawning. We're going to talk to the High Monk. He gives a little talk, and then he gives you an item. Enemies will spawn at the various locations. You still have your allies. This time they're purple. And yeah. Nothing too crazy there either, but you will have reinforcements at these 3 locations. And that's how my game evolved. Hopefully your games evolve like this. I have another map that's a graveyard. I'll show you how this one works. So this map really starts once these 2 goblins are killed. But first, here's another item. You can check. You get the sword. Also, when you get items, you get to go again. So he will attack over here. I'll use an ability that does a little extra damage. Use some abilities. We'll just end the turn, and hopefully they attack. Okay, so killing those 2 goblins really starts the level. Necromancer. And then she's going to spawn the entire graveyard. So you can see there's a shaking effect, and then all these guys spawned. So that's that level. I will now show you. This is basically my Helm's Deep battle. If you saw Lord of the Rings, it's basically a whole bunch of guys attacking a castle. But first, there's the cutscene. You can see what cutscenes can look like. Traveling through a town. Oops, camera's a little slow following. You can have conversations, move around the map a little bit. These three guys went to the bar. They have their conversation. Those two girls have theirs. And yeah, you get stuff like this. So I'm just gonna cut. You see what the cutscene looks like. I'm gonna skip and start the battle. I created a fire attack. So these guys start burning that are already in this room, and they'll take damage every turn. So if I were to end the turn, all these guys take damage from the fire. You have your archers on the ramparts. You have siege weapons shooting at them. I'll just skip the rest of that turn. It's just guys attacking. Now it's your allies' turn. You'll see the archer start shooting down. Also, your allies, or your characters, are spread out throughout the map. They're not just in a ball like a lot of SRPGs. You gotta do your best to help your allies out. So that's pretty much it. They're gonna keep attacking, and then at the end of the turn, a battering ram spawns. To see what that battering ram does, we'll skip the next two turns. The enemy will get more reinforcements. You will get more reinforcements. Just a little bit up in that corner. But now this wall breaks, so you can have terrain that changes. That's what I wanted to show for that map. Two more things. This is my test map where I get to practice all the abilities from my other units. So in Fire Emblem you can have units carry one another, but I'm taking it to a different type of thing. This is my symbiote character. He cannot attack by himself unless he uses an item. But what he can do is he can attach himself to other characters. For example, Speed Bond increases the movement of whoever he's attached to. And at the end of the turn, he gives an extra buff to give movement to the people around the character he is attached to. But what we will do is we will move with him, release him, and then have him use Power Bond, increasing the strength of the character he's attached to. Now, he can come down and attack, doing extra damage, but also at the end of the turn, the symbiote character will attack someone next to him. So just watch, he's going to spawn, and then he drops some slime over here and it damages that guy. This character is able to store up energy, and that's how she uses her abilities. She isn't always able to just use them. She has to take turns to store up the energy so she can use them. So one of the things I will do is, well, I'll start with Carly. Carly can drop a turret. This will stay on the map, and it has its own hit points and such. It has 8 hit points. But if whoever is next to it can shoot the turret, and the turret has a range of 5. So we can use the turret to attack this guy. I need to add an animation for that, but it did 6 damage. She can use it, do 6 damage, and so on. Now, this guy is pretty cool. He is an illusionist, so he can create illusions to cause enemies to attack it, attack the illusion, and kind of waste their turn. He could cause someone to disappear and turn invisible, causing enemies to not be able to target them directly. He can also teleport someone. So we have Carly all the way up there. Maybe she's in danger. We can use teleport. We can scroll down and find Carly. And now she will move from there to right there. And that's what my illusionist does. Who else is cool? So we got my Pegasus Knight, which in a lot of games they're usually pretty weak, but mine's a bit different. So she has, when she's on her Pegasus, she's more of an offensive unit. But you can dismount and get off your Pegasus, and then she turns into a tank. So here, she can use Lightning Strike, which is sort of like Chain Lightning, except it kind of causes people to attack her. I gotta get rid of that 0 part. You see electricity, electricity, and then it puts her face over the character. That means that unit is going to focus her the next turn, unless someone else also does it, then it might focus them. Okay. This guy, my Dark Mage, is pretty cool. He can do a black hole. What does a black hole do? Well, it sucks everyone to the center. So it took all those units and then moved them towards the center of the black hole. Now we have my Light Mage. Sort of the opposite element. You can do something called Skylight. What this does is it causes 20 beams to come down and either heal allies or damage enemies. And it'll keep going until all charges are used up, or all allies are healed and enemies are dead. As you can see. So, those are just some of the interesting abilities you can use. You can see, still shoot turret, boom, turreted. Yep. And I got a frog, he can walk on water. You can hop really far. You can hop down the cliff. That's cool. Now, one thing that's not as fully done, but a lot of people complain about for SRPGs, is an open world. Can you make an open world in this? And the answer is yes, but there's some kind of limited things so far. I'm still working to see if I can get rid of them. But right here, that player phase thing, I'm not sure if that's basically the thing I need to work on, is see if I can get the transitions to work right. But okay, we got a world map. It can open up. I just tried to see if I could start and have an expanding world map. I could do one where you could already see everything. But just testing this out, you can see I can move around. No limitations. I can't move over into the black stuff because I can't move there. It's impassable. But where I can, let's move to the house. I want to check the house, and it's asked me, do I want to travel here? This was based on one of my first MMOs. I was just trying to test this out. So that, if I can make that animation look better, I think this will work fine. But you can see I can move around anywhere. Terrain matters. You will stop for terrain. I can walk all the way out here. I can walk all the way to the back of this bedroom, and he will go the proper way. He may not stay on the path, but okay. Now, can I talk to anyone? Well, the answer is yes. So let's say I want to talk to this guy. Welcome, traveler. You must be new to this area. It looks like yo. You gotta think. This is just testing to see if I can get it to work. Looks like you can fight, so maybe you can help us out. Monsters have invaded our temple to the east. They have taken some of our sacred artifacts, and we would like them back. Well, I didn't see a temple out there. Will you retrieve them for us? Yes or no? If I say no, nothing happens. We'll go back to talk. He's going to say the same thing. I hit yes. Thank you so much. I will mark this location on your map. So now I can travel back down here and leave. I could change this later, but it just says check. Return to the world map? Yes. So now more of the world map is open. So I have this temple to the east. I messed it up. I put the location on the wrong spot, so I actually got to go right here. But if I check that, I can go in here. And I can move around here. I can add battles to this. I can make it so there's a 5% chance if you land in this room that a battle spawns. And I can go to another map, and then I can send it back to here. It's a bit more work, but you can make your own open world. It obviously doesn't control like something like Shining Force, but you can have a full world and have interesting characters and have things open up and have secrets and all that kind of stuff. So, it's a little bit long for my first video, but I wanted to show you that yes, this engine can do some pretty cool stuff. And that's it for this one. Probably my next video is going to be going through the basics of making your first map. It will be going along the lines of something like Advance Wars, but we'll see what we can do. Hopefully you join me going forward. And go back to the world map. Okay, and we're back, just at a slightly different location. It's just that player face thing, that's something I want to fix. Otherwise, it's going to work great.